Oh, I lost you then. Cura.
G'day, I'm here.
um, Welcome to Cup of Tea and a Yarn. I'm Jill, Tea and a Yarn on Instagram and Ravelry.
And I'm Kylie. I'm Crafty Mama on Instagram and Ravelry.
And we plan to hang out together today, like in real life, eh?
Yeah, but the weather had other plans. We've got a cyclone. Is it actually a cyclone we're experiencing?
I think we've got the tail end of one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because I was thinking, I don't think I've ever been in a cyclone before, and it doesn't feel like it's windy and kind of rainy on and off, but I don't know, it doesn't feel that bad, maybe.
No, lucky we're not in the South Island. They're getting it quite bad down there.
I hear the middle of the island's getting it too.
Yeah,
middle of the North Island. So yes, so we're back on Zoom. Never mind.
We'll get together again sometime soon.
Yes.
Definitely.
That's the plan, although our COVID cases are now starting to shoot up. We're up in, 375 a day?
It's 400. I thought it was 400 and something.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. Is that today?
I haven't looked today.
Okay. But yeah, we are now starting to, head on up the top of the roller coaster.
Yeah. That's good. Then we'll come down and that'll be
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Short-term pain for long-term gain.
That's right. And we've had border announcements this fortnight as well.
I think, didn't you talk about that last time?
Oh, did I? Oh, okay. I'm very excited about it.
It's because you're so excited about it. It's like, ooh.
We still haven't booked because my husband has to clear it with work. I've cleared it with work. I'm basically told them. But because my husband, because my husband's a bit higher up in the food chain than I am, he has to sort of clear it a bit more than me. Yeah.
How's your knitting and spinning and crocheting and weaving and any other thinking been going this week?
Well, I've had a back injury, so I've been a bit less productive than I would like to have been. I have got one finished object though. I'll start with finished objects.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Here's my February gnome.
Oh, yeah, he's cool.
He's very cool. He's got a cabled beard. He's got a kangaroo pocket. And his little handsies go in.
Oh, nice.
This is a really cool one actually because it's marled. So it was quite quick because it's all held together. It was on 3.25 needles. Very quick one. The hardest part is probably that brim on the hat is lots of short rows. And yeah, that's it. I talked to you about what I was planning on doing with him last time, but essentially I'm making him out of my leftovers from my Brio band shawl. They're not leftovers yet, but I know I'll have plenty. Actually a bit presumptuous, really, but it used about 12 grams of each colour. So yeah, he's really cute. I'm really, really happy with him. That's been one of the ones that came out as a mystery, I believe, and I bought the pattern and I don't know what happened, but he didn't get knit. So he's my February #Year of Gnomes with Imagine Landscapes. Sarah Shearer, I think her name is.
What do you do with all your gnomes?
They just hang about. Do you know, I quite like the idea of making it out of whatever I'm working on this year because it's like a little reminder of what I've made throughout the year. The more and more I think about that, the more I like it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites so far. And this is just like an I-cord that's...
Oh, it just turned around.
Yeah, just spiraled and then you literally sew it all together. So.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he's really cool. I love his kangaroo pocket.
Yeah.
His beard's a bit off. Maybe I'll bulk that so that he's over here a bit more. I probably won't. That's all I've done this week, this fortnight. Yeah, have you got any finished objects for us? I
have 3.
Look at you go.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. I do have one more finished object.
Go on,
you
then.
start. No, you start talking about yours. I have to go get it. Okay? I'll be back.
I've got my socks. So these are my the Katia Tokyo socks. The yarn we got in Hamilton when we had our Hamilton trip.
Oh, yeah. These are so cool. Are they matchy-matchy?
Yes, they are matchy-matchy.
Oh, good job.
I did I even did the afterthought heel matchy-matchy.
Nice.
Yeah, so this it's yarn on, isn't it, in Hamilton?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yes. So when we went and had our day trip down there, yeah. So I really like them. I love how they've turned out. Actually,
they're quite cool.
Yeah. So that was my first one. So they've been my meeting socks for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Then this week I went back to work because last week I was off.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously had a lot of meetings because I've done another pair of socks.
Oh my goodness, in a week. Wow, that's mental.
But also I got quite excited by them because I did some Franken socks. Yeah, so I've done Franken socks.
Very cool. Franken socks. Yeah. Nice.
So just out of lots of different types of yarn, but all like same yarns in each sock, just in different orders, really.
I love it.
Yeah. So I just finished those this morning because I had to finish them.
You could make more of them and have like 3 pairs of Franken socks.
Yeah. Just like grab a sock whenever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have lots of meetings coming up this week, so I thought I better get rid of these off my needles so I can start some new ones for next.
Mm-hmm. They're very cool. I really like them.
So that's been my this week's knit. So I just started them on Sunday and finished them this morning.
So speedy.
I know. I did 2 at a time, top down, and I did the heel flap and gusset one on those ones.
Right.
Yeah. Those are the ones where the afterthought heel.
Yep.
I'm quite enjoying the different types of heels, eh?
Mm.
It's like, I'll do this one this time because that's what I fancy.
That's something I enjoy about the Sock Madness, learning new heels. Yeah.
Mm. And I think that especially if you want to keep the pattern, I think the afterthought is brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I think that I'm unsure how you could do that with a heel flap. I haven't worked that one out yet. So you could do the heel flap in one colour.
Yeah. You do the heel flap and is it the gusset? Heel flap and gusset. And then you just move on to the other, what's that bit?
The leg, the foot.
No, the next bit in it has a special
The name. Decreasing.
Yeah, that bit.
That's the gusset, isn't it? So you do your heel flap and then you do your
that little triangle is the gusset.
Triangle. No, that's your just heel. This is the gusset. This bit.
Oh, okay. So heel flap, heel gusset.
Yeah.
So you just move on to your gusset. Hey, look, our nails are matching. Snap.
Snap. I thought I'd get rid of the black because it's summery.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's technical bits about socks. And then I've thought with my next year's gifts for my friends in Wellington.
This year's,
sorry. Yes. I'm going to do a pair of mittens every month.
Yep.
So these are my mittens.
They're gorgeous. Are they hand spun?
Yeah. So this is my hand spun. And it's got like a cable.
What's the pattern?
I don't know.
I'll find out and put it in the show notes. How's that?
It's a free one.
Yep.
And it's something like it's something about being jealous about these mittens, but I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's a freebie one. 4-ply. I've made for 4-ply. And my yarn isn't 4-ply, it's probably more sport, which is mostly what my hand spun is. And so I just did less stitches.
Yep.
So it's 44 stitches instead of whatever the pattern said.
Oh, they're very cool.
Yeah. So
whoever gets them a very lucky person.
So now I've got 2 pairs. So I'm keeping up. So it's February and I've got 2 pairs of mittens done.
Well done.
Those 3 finished objects. I'm like on a roll this week.
You are on a roll.
And I did spinning as well.
Oh my goodness. Show me your spinning.
I love this. It's so beautiful. So this is the stuff.
I have seen this. It's amazing.
Yeah. So there we go. That's it.
That looks like a fibre spate scrumptious skein. Like it looks like a store-bought.
I haven't washed it yet. So I'm not sure what it's going to do, but it's so soft. It's linen from Fibre to Go. Mm-hmm. Merino silk. So I got it at Morrinsville when we were there. And it spun very, very thin. So I was going to do just play it on itself, but because it's spun so thin, I thought, well, none of my other yarn is that thin, so it's not going to go with anything. So I've chain plied it.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah. So in some places it's full ply almost, and in other places it's about a sport weight. Yeah. But yes. I like it a lot, and I just look at it.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You just squish it.
Yeah. But yes, I do need to give it a wash so it sets the twist.
Yep.
It just looks so pretty. It's just like all the different colours in it. It's just look pretty.
That was black cherry or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Doris plum.
Doris plum. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, she does amazing fibre.
3 finished things, but they're all quite small, really. Apart, well,
oh.
Wow, but yeah, quite small.
That's heaps.
Yeah.
I did finish some socks.
Oh yes.
That was my thing. I finished.
Cool.
So I've still got the things in them. I haven't washed them or anything, but this is the main colour is got me putting them everywhere. The main colour is Coal Flowers from Rainy Day Yarns. Oh, it's kind of washing out a bit. There you go. That's better. Yeah. It's such a cool colourway with the little flecks, and I love how it's spiraled around like that. Hand-dyed yarn like that can be so rewarding to knit in a plain sock.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm really glad I just did a plain sock. I think next time I do a plain sock, though, I might do socks on a plane or something. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this is my handbag knitting. This is all of my. Did I show this last week? I don't think I did.
Yes, you told us all the movies you'd been to.
Oh my God, what is wrong with me?
But we hadn't finished them.
Oh, okay. So I have finished them now. Oh, phew, I was just thinking. I remember telling you all of this. Oh,
yeah.
My memory.
You told us about the movies you'd been to, but they weren't finished.
No. Okay. Well, now they're finished. So I'm trying to think of the yarn. The crazy hot pink yarn is Xenon Coops Socks Coop Knits Socks from a place in Auckland. Not Lupine, the other one.
One in Mount Wellington.
No, not Ribbon Rose. And look, it matches my
knit and stitch.
Knit and Stitch, that's the one, Knit and Stitch. And it's a really cool one to get for heels and toes. And I would have done this as well, but I was like here when I bought this yarn. I was here on my first sock. But anyway, I would have done that as well. Really cool because it's only a 50-gram skein, so perfect for heels and toes. And I'm thinking my next gnome might have these colorways.
Nice.
If I can find one more really bright color to go with it, that'd be really cool too. So they might be the next gnome.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll move on with what I've been working on. After I finish that, I cast on the Dre Renee Knits DRK Everyday Socks out of my house one.
Nice. That's looking really good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, I'm really happy with it. It's just a fully ribbed sock all the way up, toe up, and it looks a bit weird. This bit looks weird because it's ribbed, so the ribbing pulls it in. So I will pop it on a sock blocker and show you. Oh, I can't because I'm not halfway through a row. Can't show you that. But it will look fine. Yeah. I could do this. I could do this. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good shape. Now, you can see some holes through it. It's got a little bit of give in it.
A bit of air. A bit of air can get through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, what I did was the pattern actually recommended 2.25 needles, and I normally knit on 2.5, but I thought, okay, this recommends 2.25. Maybe we need that for the ribbing or something. But I did the heel, toe, and I didn't like the fabric. It was just too thick. And so I actually left it on the needles, got these needles out, my 2.5s, and started from the middle of this. And I've already pulled the other one out. I didn't like it at all. This one was much more what I'm used to. And these will probably be work socks going in boots, so I don't want them too thick.
Yeah.
Because I need it to be fairly cool. But yeah, that's my hand spun. Spun. This is the hand spun that I've spun to Kurt Haynes' recipe, which is you divide an 100 ply braid into 30 grams, 30 grams, 40 grams, or thereabouts, and you spin. No, it's 30, 35, 35. You spin the two 35-gram ones, say, in one direction. So let's say we do the first two anti-clockwise, and then you ply them together anti-clockwise. Then you do your little 30 grams anti-clockwise, and then you ply your 30-gram single with your 2-ply clockwise, so that you end up with a crepe knit. And it's not showing up.
Will that make it nice and strong for socks then?
Yes, it makes it really hard wearing. And it's quite a different feel to what a normal sock yarn feels like to knit. So I think that's why I got such a thick fabric at first. And now it's quite a lot thinner, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. And the other thing I wish I had this was my first time spinning that way.
Yeah.
I wish I had stripes, of course. So next time I'll work a bit harder on having stripes, but it's a Corriedale from, that's my dog snoring.
I know, I can hear her.
She's atrocious. I can't think of where it's from. Oh, but I got it from Fibertron a couple of years ago. What else have I been working on? So I mentioned my Brio band. It's not attached to any yarn at the moment because I'm in between sections. I have just finished the brioche section, the syncopated brioche. So on one side it's got like more of the green. It looks fairly similar on both sides, to be honest. That's the whole thing with syncopated brioche. It's like a woven sort of effect. So that's that done. That's the main body of the shawl done.
Just the edge now?
Just the edge, and the edge is phenomenal. It's going to take me ages. It's quite possible this will go back into the naughty bin for a bit because I feel like I've accomplished quite a lot with it in the last 2 weeks, and I'm ready to just move on. I'd like to get back to a top that I'm knitting. So there's still quite a lot to go. Yeah. And it's designed for 7 colours, and I've actually got 9, just because that's what I decided to do. And so I'll do that short row section in probably this colour. And then so there's actually like 7 coloured stripes or 6 coloured stripes with that one colour as a border throughout.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I should do a stripe of all of the colours I've used, but I might not. We'll see how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to, because it kind of showcases all the colours you've used.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've got loads of yarn, so there's no reason why I can't.
I might take a break for a month or two.
Yeah, maybe it'll come with me when I go back to Australia or something, and I'll finish it there, or I don't know. So it's going to go back in the cupboard, in the naughty corner.
It's just having a break.
Yeah, look, I did a solid 2 weeks on it.
Mm-hmm.
I got those 2 sections done. Yeah, it's hard work finishing his shawls.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't want to. We were talking about this at knitting yesterday at the knit group. Someone was saying how they felt quite intimidated by some of the big projects we do and the more complicated stitches and stuff. And I was just saying, well, you've got to do what makes you happy. Like, if that makes me happy at one point, I will do that. But there's times where I don't want to do that. I just want to do something. Oh, actually, that's quite mindless, that one. So it's actually probably the opposite, that I want to now do something with a bit more input, mental input.
So before I did those mittens, remember last time I talked, I showed you the ones I was going to make, the Victorian strawberry ones.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, so I cast them on.
Yep.
I did probably about 10 rows of the colour work. And then I was like, this is too hard. I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah.
It was too fiddly. Yeah. And so I just pulled the whole thing apart, and that just, I don't have, I don't just, I don't put things away if I'm never going to do them again. So I just ripped it back, and that's finished. It's gone. Never to be started again.
And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We have to be doing what we love and enjoy. Otherwise, there's no joy in it.
That's right. I think I would quite like to do some colour work mittens, but that was probably a little bit too, the pattern was a bit too random.
Right.
You know, curls and the twirls. Like, I think if I could do a check one or something.
Yeah.
A bit more straightforward.
I mean, you don't have to think about as much with more repetition. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just as effective.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, I thought I might give that a go instead. But, which is why I did those other ones in place of the strawberry Korean ones.
There you go. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah. No. So something else I've gotten to a really good point in this fortnight is my weighting blanket. Sorry, I've got stuff just here. This is a kit I bought from Little Woolly Makes in Mornington Peninsula down in Melbourne, my old yarn shop. And it's a very, very simple, very, very simple pattern. It's not even on Ravelry. Like, it's not even listed on Ravelry or anything. It's just a square with, I think American is double chain. Just get this right. It's US terminology, and it's just SC, single crochet, which is double crochet in UK. That's the one. Got to get these things right. And just like a pinhole start and a couple of chains at each corner, and that's it. But the magic in this is in the actual balls. So the kit comes with 12 balls each. This is actually from the pink kit. So I bought the blue kit, and then I bought the pink kit as well, because she brought in a bunch of the blue kits, and I and ahed about it and I missed out. So then when she brought the blue kit in, I was like, yep, I'll have that. And didn't even think twice. And then she brought a pink kit in, and I was like, oh, but I've already got the blue kit and I've hardly done any of it. And I bought it anyway. And I'm really glad I did, because it's not very big. One kit makes like a cot-sized blanket. That's a pretty good estimate. I've done all of the blue ones now. Look
Mm.
at that fat stack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're very not me colors, like they're very muted, but I think they're really beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that every single square is different, and there's actually 3 different cottons in it.
Yeah.
And I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the pink ones.
Yeah.
I love that color.
That's cool.
And I actually laid them out during the week on my bed, and I laid out what I've done, and yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks together. That was the one thing I wasn't sure how it was going to look, whether it was going to look like to mismatch, but it blends beautifully. So that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm just leaving it as a big old stack. Big old stack. But now my dilemma will be, the kits came with two finishing bowls each.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm going to need probably 2 to put them together, and then 2 for the border. So I'm actually thinking I might put it together with the pink, because there's going to be pink throughout. It might look okay. And then I'll use the
White for the border.
For the border.
Is it white or green? What color is it?
Cream. It's cream. Yeah. Or
nice.
The other thing I could do is actually put them together with this, hopefully have enough to go around once, and purchase something else and use this for something else. So I've still got 5 squares to think about it. But I've got 1 at work, 1 at home to do during meetings at home, 1 at work to do during meetings at work and lunchtime. And I've actually only been doing it for a year.
That's cool.
I started January last year, so I'm really impressed. That's all work stuff. I haven't really done any apart from that. I did a couple while I was away last year. So the plan is to have it finished before I go away, but it's probably a bit ambitious doing that. But anyway, it'll be on our couch this winter.
I've got I've got a couple of things. You inspired me with your crocheting, so I have started with my little squares. So I've got like 50 of these little squares so far.
Wow.
I did about 6 yesterday. They're just to add into things, and they're just lots of different fingering ones, which I don't really know what I'm doing with. I'm just making squares.
It's fun to just make squares, isn't it?
It is, and you do a square and you're like, done.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
You do 6 of these this afternoon.
Yeah. At some point, I think I'm going to need a lot more than 50, so I will lay them out and see how big I can make what I'm making. Obviously, it'll be a blanket, because blankets are cool. So they've been doing that in the evenings. When I did that a couple last evening after I'd finished my spinning. And the other thing I've done is I've cast on just a raglan jersey. And it's a Jessie Made Designs one, just her cozy raglan. I've just split for the underarms.
That's such nice yarn. What is it?
So it's my hand spun.
I thought it might be. It's beautiful.
The top, the ribby bit, I've put some little lace with some of it just to give it a bit of a difference.
That's really clever.
And because I've got more of one yarn than I have the other, and I'm doing alternate rows.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the one I've got a lot of. And this is a big old mixture of stuff I made Rolex with.
Right.
And then spun. So I've got quite a lot of that. So that's what I did the neckband with the lace with. And I'll do the same with the cuffs here and probably around the bottom as well.
Yep.
And the other one is, this is some hakanui and silk.
It's beautiful.
Which I have plied together with, I think, some Corridale. Yeah. It's so pretty.
It's really nice.
Yeah. So that's that. Doesn't
Fantastic.
Kind of doesn't look big, but it's quite big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all scrunched up.
It is all scrunched up. I'm hoping it's big enough. I'm doing the meat. It's okay. So I'm not quite following. I didn't swatch, and I'm not following the recipe properly. But
I love your happy-go-nitty. Just whatever, it'll work. She'll be right. If not, I rip it out, start again. Doesn't matter. Love it.
Based on the measurements, I should have done, and based on my usual kind of knitting, I should have done a small size because it's quite oversized.
Right.
And I didn't want it really big. So I've gone down a needle size because my yarn isn't DK.
Right.
But I'm making the medium. So, I mean,
that should work.
Fine. I mean, my measurements are all right. Like my measurements from here to here are bigger than my other jerseys, so it will be a little bit baggy.
Should be right.
And yeah, if not, I'll just stretch it. I bet it'll be easy. Yeah, definitely will fit. But I'm probably going to make it just to my waist, so it's not going to go really long. And I'm not making any shaping, so there are shaping in the pattern, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to go straight down, and then probably quite a loose rib, the same as this at the bottom, so that I can wear it with my frocks.
Yeah,
that's where I wear dresses, so or overalls, so that it can go on top of my overalls, or it can go on top of my dresses.
It could even go under your overalls.
It could. Depends on how long. Oh, see, that's the length thing then, isn't it? Because if it's too short, it'll stick out the sides.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll have to see, because I tried that with one of my other jerseys last year, and it was just a little bit too short. But yeah, so that's what I'm currently knitting. And that's all. And because I finished my socks this morning, I was like, I'm feeling a little bit like at a loss about, only having one thing. I mean, obviously I'll cast on some socks today, so I'm ready for my meeting starting tomorrow, because my meeting day. But yeah, and this is quite hot, so I have to keep putting it down.
Yeah, I've found that with the humidity, especially this weekend, it's been really difficult. I've actually just picked up this cotton instead of the woolen socks. Even though it's really thin wool, it's still hot in your hands, whereas this is actually quite nice to crochet on. I've been crocheting my blanket a little bit as well, but I've only done about this much this fortnight, so I didn't bother. I thought that barely counts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have started spinning that bright pink as well. When I got my wheel. Again, it's Lynn's Fibre to Go bright pink merino silk. I've only done a little bit, so I will share that.
Yeah, I was the same with my drop spindling.
When the aircon's on.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but with my drop spindling, I hadn't quite finished I've got like this much fibre left. Like, it's not much, but then I injured my back, and I'm like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's okay. It'll still be there, waiting to be spun.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling ready.
I have to look at my yarn this afternoon and be inspired to have another cast on, because I started that other brioche shawl. I liked the first one, but then I've fallen out with it.
Oh, okay.
Thinking about using those minis for something else now. So I'm thinking about pulling out what I've done.
Wow, okay.
I don't know what, but
yeah. I've got a few things on my radar at the moment. I would really like to do a sea glass tee by Wool and Pine, and they released the sea glass hat. And so I'm thinking I can do the hat as a swatch. I've got quite a number of hedgehog fibers minis, and I'm thinking I've got loads of hedgehog fibers. I like the idea of keeping one color the same, but I won't be able to keep one color the same. I'll have to fade it into another color as the base, and then use my minis as the stripes. So if I do a hat in my minis, and just, I don't even know who it'll be for, but that'll be a really good swatch, a really good gauge swatch for this tea. So that's something I would like to do. There's never enough time, of course.
I know.
I also need to do a gauge swatch for a pink yarn I have. It's hot pink. I need a hot pink cardigan, and I bought a pattern this week. It's a brand new release. You might have seen me pop it on my Instagram. Please forgive me, I've forgotten the name of the designer, and I think it's important to get names right. So I'm just going to look it up.
I would have looked at my mittens, but my phone's over there, so check.
Something else I've been working on is I ordered some more bra making stuff. Nellie Jones, who's where I get most of my stuff from, does a thing where you can borrow her, you essentially rent a underwire library.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I've rented an underwire library, and I want to make a bra and leave the channels open and fit a couple of different channels and see which ones feel better. So yesterday I spent about 3 hours in my sewing room.
Cool.
And did no sewing. I literally had just sat down at my sewing machine, got the right needle, got the right thread, all set up, and I was literally lowering the needle, and my son come in and he's like, "It's dinner time, Mum." It's what? Isn't it like 4 o'clock? Oh my God, it's 6:30. I've completely lost 3 hours of my life yesterday. But I was doing all important stuff because I'd ordered a couple of grab bags. She does these grab bags for like $10. She doesn't release them very often, and it's the first time I've managed to get some because I set an alarm and stuff. So she does grab bags, and I've had a couple of kits of hers. So I was actually sorting all of the fabrics into the different types of fabrics and then like putting them in Ziploc bags and stuff. And I wrote a little on a card, like all the details, like what's in the fabric. Is it one-way stretch? Is it two-way stretch? What's it good for? That sort of stuff. So that anytime I want to make stuff in the future, I can look at what I've got really quickly. Yeah. So
you use time to save time later.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I'm not unhappy with my time spent. And I cut everything out for a bra, and I did measurements as well and stuff because, you know, we're always constantly changing. I still haven't found this pattern.
I did a bit of shopping.
Oh,
It arrived.
Oh, okay. I've done some shopping that's not coming either.
Even though we went shopping, but I thought it was all right because it's not yarn. It's fiber.
Oh,
it's fiber.
Ooh, what are you getting?
Just getting some stuff from Anna Grattan.
Right. But you spin so quickly. Like you need it.
I seem to be, I don't know. I seem to have quite a bit of hand spun at the moment.
Okay.
I need to do something with my hand spun.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'll make a jersey because I've got, those two things go quite nicely together and I can make them play well.
But spinning and knitting are actually two different hobbies.
Yeah.
And it's okay to spin for the enjoyment of spinning. You don't have to spin for a project. You don't have to be a project spinner.
No.
It's like project, what is it? Process versus project knitting. Are you knitting for the enjoyment of the project or are you knitting because you want that garment? All right, I found it. This is the cardigan.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
That's Yarn Floozy, the dyer, Yarn Floozy, who is in Auckland. That's her sample. And the yarn I have is her yarn in the same base, and it's hot pink. And it was actually an email from Yarn Floozy, and I was like, That's the pattern I've been waiting for. I have spent, I cannot tell you how many hours I've spent trying to find a pattern that I love for this yarn. Okay, so that came out and I just like bought it like that, which I very rarely do. It's called the Forest Walking Cardigan, and it's a Kiwi designer, Amikihia knits, Amikihia. Elizabeth
Niho Niho?
Niho. Elizabeth Niho. Yeah. And she's a Maori designer, I believe. And I
think her and her husband make sure that designs are have like the tikanga around them and named after specific things. Yeah.
Yeah, which was why I was surprised it was called Forest Walking Cardigan. Not a lot of her other ones have a Terreo name, but anyway, I love it. So that's what I want to swatch for. And I'm inspired by the Sea Glass hat swatch. I'm now going to just knit hats as swatches.
Oh, cool.
So smart, right? Like I'm actually making something.
Yeah.
So what I think I'll do is I'll make just like a little kitten hat for Scarlett, my daughter, because she just loves hot pink. And actually she's already eyed this yarn off. So this will make her happy.
I've got a couple of Elizabeth Niho's patterns that I really like. Well, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll look at one of those. So my gate's just blown open, hanging around.
So you've purchased fibre. I have actually purchased yarn. Now I'm not getting any of it. I'm not getting any of it before Woolfest.
Okay.
So I purchased the Yarn Minis Advent Calendar because I missed out last year and I had such bad FOMO.
Yes, that's right.
I think we already talked about that.
Yeah, we did talk about that one.
Okay, so this fortnight I purchased... Okay, so I have an Elton sweater, Elton cardigan by Johi Locatelli, and when that came out, it's designed to be knit with, it's a stripy cardigan, and it's designed to be sock yarn striped with a mohair, and it's meant to be the same colorway, similar colors. So I knit mine in a hedgehog fibers called Anime. It's a colorway called Anime. It's a grey and it's got flecks of, actually it's not far off this if we're honest, except not black, it's grey. But it's got those flecks of colours in it, really bright flecks in it. That's my neutral. That's as neutral as I get. And what I did was I did the sock yarn. So I knitted 2 skeins of the sock yarn and 1 skein of the lace weight. I wasn't loving mohair when that first came out. I'm still not loving it, but I can substitute now with
the alpaca
lace one now. That's something that's come out since that. But what I used at the time was a lace weight silk merino.
Nice.
And it gives a really interesting effect because it's shiny. So you get these shiny stripes. So anyway, my purchase was yarn for another one of them, and it's because Lupine in Auckland, Alana is going to be stocking hedgehog, and so she put out a pre-order and 10% off. And so I thought, you know what, I would really like another one of those cardigans. I wear it like crazy. So I've ordered it in a very boring blue color. But
and are you having lace or sari between?
Lace. The exact same base. So it's only 3 skeins. So it worked out to be like $125 for a cardigan in hedgehog fibers. I'm like, that's actually a really sensible purchase of mine.
Well done.
So that will probably be, I will probably try and knit that for spring or in spring.
Yeah. So 6 months away. Yeah. Cool. We've planted vegetables, which is quite exciting for us. I've got one of those veggie pods.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, so we built it yesterday, and then we were out in the gale force winds this morning planting it.
They probably won't survive. Oh no, you've got that mesh thing that goes over it.
Yeah, the wind's not getting in at all.
Wow.
No way, it'll be fine.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so we probably totally overfilled it, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's quite exciting.
What did you plant? What did you plant in it?
That's why I said we think we've probably overplanted.
Mm-hmm.
Got silver beet, the perpetual spinach, basil, coriander, garlic, chives, lettuce, and I think that might be it.
Okay, cool. That's all right though, because that will probably eventually become just your herb one, and you'll get another one for veggies. Like, because that's what I'm thinking often happens with these, because you get the veggies kind of die off. A lot of them, the perpetual spinach won't, but that's kind of what happens. The herbs take over.
Well, and it's the herb. Andrew's chosen the herbs, and I've chosen the veggies, and it's my veggie pot. So no.
Well,
he wanted basil just because he likes the smell of it. So we've got these 6 little seedlings, and I don't know what I'm going to do with all this basil when it grows.
Pesto.
A lot of pesto, yeah. A lot of pizzas. And basil every night.
Did you say you'd planted tomatoes as well? No.
No.
Because basil and tomato are a co-plant. They should be planted together.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a bit late for tomatoes now.
Probably. We've been getting lots of baby tomatoes from our plant that we planted when we first moved here 3 years ago. Yeah. And it just keeps coming back. It's great. The strawberries too. We haven't planted anything this year. We've had strawberries, we've had tomatoes. We've always got herbs. That's a good thing about herbs. You never have to replant herbs except coriander.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to hear you didn't plant any mint.
Oh no, it goes mental.
It does. I was going to say, if you planted mint, that's all you'll have in 6 months.
And it will be all over the garden and all in the neighbours.
Mint for days.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I might have a bit of an allergy to mint. So when I pick fresh mint, I quite often have sneezes afterwards.
Oh, I wonder if the seeds are quite small or something.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
Yeah. It kind of makes me sneeze a bit. Same with rocket sometimes makes me sneeze.
Interesting.
Well, not really interesting, just
it's all a matter of opinion, Jill. Perspective. We've been watching all the Harry Potter movies with the kids the last couple of weeks, and that's been really nice. We've actually had 3 movie nights now where we put it on and say we might turn it off halfway through, and we actually watch the whole thing because Jeremy and I don't want to stop watching. And we get to the end and the kids are like, oh, it's really late. So we finished the last one last night, so I don't know what we'll watch now. But,
Andrew got Prime. We got Prime for a week for free. Oh. And so then we watched, they've got a Jack Reacher series.
Oh.
We watched Jack Reacher.
Yep.
Yeah, and we watched the whole thing.
Did you watch The Wheel of Time?
Started. Yeah, I quite liked it. He didn't so much. Oh. Yeah, it's a bit too intense, I think. It's not really relaxing TV watching.
No, it's more like Game of Thrones, isn't it? Yeah. Game of Thrones crossed with The Witcher, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, very much. Read any of the books though, have you?
No. No, I've been reading some Terry Pratchett novels, the Long Earth series. That's what I've been reading lately, and that's been really good. It's just work and school here now for the next couple of months, a little bit of normality. We've changed things up a bit at work. Our team, we realized that even though we were separated, we were actually all breathing the same air, recirculated air, which hasn't been a problem in previous outbreaks, but now they're making a big deal of that. So we have split our team into two. We're only a team of 4 anyway, but 2 of us are now working in the meeting room, which isn't being used because no one does meetings, but it runs off a different air conditioning unit. So that actually means I can actually go to work 5 days a week now if I want, but I've managed to convince my boss that I don't need to be there and it's safer if I don't.
Yeah. Well, we've been asked to work
Which is true. Sorry?
We've been asked to work from home if we can.
Right.
Yeah, because it's safer and, safer for, well, I think because they want to keep the organisation still going.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the less contact we have with each other, the more chance there is of us actually being able to keep the organisation going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still just going in 2 to 3 days a week, just when I really need to be there, and yeah. But I'm trying to alternate with my husband now. So my dog still is not learning how to stay at home.
I do have a trip to Auckland planned.
Oh.
Yeah, because we have a national control centre that our team's all taking a shift in.
Yep.
So I've got a 4-day shift there in March. So
oh, cool.
Yeah.
We'll be able to catch up then.
We will.
How that'll work with our schedule. That'll probably work. It might be a bit long. We'll see how we go.
We have to do something in between then, because it's always like the first weekend in March.
Right. Okay.
A couple of weeks. Yeah, quite a few weeks, 3 weeks away yet.
Yeah, we were planning on trying to meet halfway today. We were going to take all the family and I was going to send the kids to do something else. With my husband, of course, not just like, off you go. Yeah. But the weather got the better of us, so never mind.
Next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time we'll organise something.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we can do the Cambridge trip.
Maybe, yeah. Because there's a yarn shop there, isn't there?
Well, I haven't been, and I didn't even know there was until you said. So I'm quite excited to go and have a look.
Yeah. And not buy anything. Maybe not.
I think it's a bit mean to go to a yarn shop and not buy anything.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Trying to support local businesses.
Yeah, totally.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. See how the mood takes us.
Yeah. It might be a rubbish yarn shop.
I'm sure it's not.
It probably isn't.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah, I've been to rubbish yarn shops that are all just like acrylic yarn.
Nothing wrong with acrylic sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely has its place. Definitely. Yeah. But I'm a bit of a yarn snob. So. Yeah. I have acrylic in my stash. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually going to make. I'd like to make one of those crocheted boxy things that just uses all scraps. You use like a size 10 crochet hook, and I thought that could be a really good stash buster.
Oh, you mean like a basket thing?
Like a basket, yeah.
Good idea.
I called it a box. I meant a basket,
yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah. Thank goodness someone did. Anyone still watching is like, what is wrong with these girls today? It's the wind. Let's blame the wind.
Yeah,
it works when you're a teacher and it's windy. It's the wind. The children are mental. It's the wind. Well, I think we've run out of things to say, so we should.
I think so. I think that about the kids going mental. But yeah,
it's been lovely chatting. Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.
Yeah, ka kite.
Ka kite.